What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the Samurai Sports Network, and today we're going to be talking about the comments that Rich Eisen made towards Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady, and the two rookie quarterbacks that would be starting in the AFC East in terms of Sam Darnold and Josh Allen. Now, this is not going to be like the Ryan Clark video where I'm talking about Ryan Tannehill and saying, oh, how could you criticize Ryan Tannehill? This actually is going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins fan base, because when you look through that Twitter feed, there's actually a lot of Dolphins fans, some who I actually have seen comment bad stuff about Ryan Tannehill, who have actively been defending the Dolphins quarterback, which is very interesting to me, because when you think about it, when you look at it, there's a lot of people on the Dolphins side of things that don't, especially fans, that don't like Ryan Tannehill. And I'm one that's been able to criticize, or not even been able, but has criticized the Dolphins fan base multiple times for being critical, but being too critical at times, and not trying to defend not only their players, their coaches, their organization to others, and bashing it at every chance that they get. And this is something that's interesting to me, because Dolphins Twitter is never usually joined at the hip, joined at one, where they're in agreement that, hey, we are the ones that can criticize our quarterback, not you. It's something that I haven't seen in a long time, because usually that's not what happens. It's usually where it's, you know, go at it, full sail, full force, go at it, who cares, I don't care, blah blah blah. They go to the extent, any extent possible, in which they make it so that you can criticize their quarterback and it doesn't matter in terms of Dolphins Twitter. So it's something that's very interesting to me, and I want to just kind of go into it, because this fan base is one that's always been separate. And when Rich Eisen tweeted out, you know, barring anything unforeseen, the AFC East will have two rookie quarterbacks, a 41-year-old and one Tannehill. And he went through on his comments and he was talking about it, and he said how, you know, he wasn't saying like he thought that he was gonna get criticized more so by Patriots fans and saying, oh, that's what Tom Brady is, a 41-year-old quarterback. And he was shocked that the Dolphins fans were the ones that were going after him, and he compared Ryan Tannehill to Josh Allen. Now, whether you like Tannehill or not, I think you can agree that coming out of college, Tannehill was a more, I guess you could say, he's probably a better quarterback than Josh Allen is going to be if he does start day one. So it's something that's interesting to me, but it's not even in terms of criticizing Tannehill. It's the fact that, you know, he kept going at it and going at it, say, you know, going after things and continuing to go. I think Tannehill's 37-40 win-loss, and so they just kept going at it and going at it and going at it, trying to harp the point that, you know, the Dolphins and Tannehill, it makes no sense, and that he's been under different ownership and different coaching regimes and all sorts of stuff, and kind of threw that and swept that under the rug as if it didn't have anything to do with the, you know, development of a young quarterback, honestly. And this isn't even, like I said, it's not defend Tannehill's situation, it defends the Dolphin organization situation. Since Tannehill's been here, he's been under one owner in Stephen Ross, and that's kind of been that one regime though. But he's had different vice presidents of football operations, he's had different head coaches, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, quarterback coaches, running back situation has only been good for about 2 years, because there was that 1 year where Lamar Miller broke out and then he wanted a big contract and we couldn't give it to him. Jay Ajayi broke out and then they didn't like what Jay Ajayi was doing, so they traded him. There's so many things that have been there for the Miami Dolphins that haven't worked under the quarterback situation, whether it was Matt Moore, whether it was Ryan Tannehill, whether it was Jay Cutler, and Matt Moore did start for a year, whether it was Pat White, whether it was signing David Garrard, which made absolutely no sense, whether it was Chad Henne, all these other quarterbacks, it's been the organization that has failed them more so than it's been their actual talent. And you can go on to a bunch of different things about this, but all these quarterbacks, yeah, they may not have been extremely talented to keep the job, but they've been under an organization where the owner didn't know what he was doing when he bought the team, fired coaches, tried bringing in seasoned coaches that didn't know anything, or really not even didn't know anything, but were trying to get their last paycheck. The same with the executive vice presidents, general managers, scouting teams, in terms of like certain scouts that the general manager would bring on, instead of hiring from within, hiring people who are hungry, hiring people who want to do a job, not trying to collect their last paycheck. And you know, doing these deals with, you know, celebrities to try to get them to be a part of everything, and, you know, all this other stuff that was complete BS that us Dolphins fans did not care about. And yes, you know, you can go and you can critique Tannehill and you can say, look, this instance, yeah, these things are going wrong, but by now, as a 8th overall pick, he should have been what we needed him to be. And you know, you're right. There's certain times where you can look at Tannehill and you can say, look, you know, yes, you did have a bad offensive line. Yes, all this stuff was happening. You didn't have a good, you know, receiving corps. But any quarterback that was supposed to be a franchise guy would get over that and would work with it. You can give that argument, and honestly, it's not a bad argument at all. But when you go into everything, you got to criticize the owner. You got to criticize his hirings. The hirings when they did hire coaches. Firings of certain people. Bring on certain people, and right now one of the big ones that everyone goes after is Adam Gase. And all this comes back to what Rich Eisen said after going after Tannehill and talking about the coaches and all this other stuff, and goes back to Dolphins Twitter coming together somehow, some way, and coming under the same thing where they could say, look, like I said in the beginning, you can criticize our organization, but we're not going to take it. We are the ones that can criticize our organization. So I thought that was really interesting to me. Let me know what you guys think about Rich Eisen and his comments. I really don't think that they were that bad. I saw it, and so I thought, you know, I wanted to comment to, you know, go over it really on the channel. But I don't think they were like Ryan Clark's comments, in my opinion. I do think that Rich Eisen, you know, tweeted out something to garner views, and he did do it. You know, he tweeted out a tweet that he was hoping, and you can tell from the secondary clip, he was hoping that he would get feedback from Patriots fans that would go after him, and then Dolphins fans, and hopefully Bills and Jets fans, even though Rich Eisen is a Jets fan himself. And even before that, he suggests that the Dolphins should trade for Teddy Bridgewater and kind of give away a king's ransom. And it's kind of interesting noting that he's a Jets fan, saying that they should trade for Teddy Bridgewater. Now, I'm one that, you know, was under the assumption that the Dolphins should have signed Teddy Bridgewater regardless. But he's dealing with a knee injury that was extremely worse than Ryan Tannehill's, in the way that they thought that he was never going to play football ever again. So a lot of stuff to unpack, a little bit of a long video here, but I'd like to hope that you guys stayed for the end of the video, because I have kind of, I guess, an announcement to make. So yesterday I was approached by the owner, and I guess the person who runs DolphinsTalk.com. And he pretty much kind of told me that he, you know, I guess I could just kind of say, you know, he said, I saw your video about the Fins and I was very impressed. Told me he ran the website. He was always looking for good content. And he wanted to, you know if I would be interested in teaming up with them. And I, you know, was perfectly honest with him. I said, look, you know, I haven't heard of this website before. I did take a look at it a couple minutes ago, and I did like what I saw. I really did like what I saw from the website. And of course, something I found was interesting is that they actually had Greg Likens, who's my favorite, you know, sports broadcaster, radio host that talks about the Dolphins, from 790 The Ticket. They had him on their podcast, which, you know, just kind of helped bumped it up for me in terms of the fact that, you know, these are people that I want to work with, because they can not only help myself, but I would like to also, you know, grow with one. Now, granted, they have way more followers than I do, and a way bigger following than I do, but I thought it was a good opportunity, and I really liked how he was talking about the situation, and I was really interested. And so this is, I guess, kind of me announcing. You'll see something in the bottom right, left, I don't even know, corner. It's the Dolphins Talk logo. You'll see the website in the description below, so go check it out. Go click on that website. And thank you, of course, for bringing me on to the website, I guess, to just kind of help and team up, you know, to make content. And I really do appreciate it. So please, guys, go check out the channel, or the website. I'm stumbling on words here. Go check out the website. It's really awesome. They, you know, have a really nice podcast going out. A lot of the stuff they have is really good. So, you know, just thank you, Mike. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Really quickly, just to mention, I just forgot this, but just to mention, none of my content is going to be swayed a certain way. It's just going to be all my opinion. So don't worry. I'm still going to criticize what I want to criticize and talk about what I'm talking about, my content. So yeah, hope you guys very much enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe down below. And as always, peace.